Hello dear students, how are you today? So welcome back to a new lesson of English, and today's lesson is about reading a text which is on page 60. Okay, so we will start on this page, and if you remember, we studied about the different tenses of passive voice, right? We did some exercise and I explained to you. Now we've got page 60. I want you to open that page and be with me while I am reading it for you or doing the exercises. Okay? So first, let's see, it's about what? Caring for the environment. So if you remember, starting unit 5, it was about our environment. And there was a text about climate change. Right? We did some exercise about that and we learned some new vocabularies. And now we've got caring for the environment. But like before starting the lesson, I want you to start from yourself, and even I can start from myself to protect our environment. Okay? So as to stop polluting the environment because we are living in it. Okay? Good. So look at the title of this text. Read it with me. Save the orphan bears. So look at the photos. First photo, there is a man who looks after the baby bears and he's feeding them. Second photo is the two bears climbing the tree. Last one, the bears are walking. But let me tell you what does orphan mean. Orphan means someone who has got no parents. That one has got like no mom or no dad. Okay, so these bears, they're like orphans because their parents are dead, okay, or they are killed maybe. So we will know more about it after we listen to the reading part, okay? So I want you to listen to this audio, okay, very carefully, because there are some exercises that are related to this text. If you don't listen carefully, you can't answer them. So please be with me and listen to this part.
Page 60, Exercise 1B. Save the orphan bears. Dear friend, I want to tell you about Yuri. Yuri is a young brown bear. He was born in winter, and like all bear cubs, he was blind, and he had no teeth. His mother was hibernating in her den, deep inside the Russian forest. Outside it was very cold, and everything was covered by thick snow. Inside the den with his mother, however, Yuri felt safe and warm. Then, when Yuri was only a few weeks old, some hunters came. Dogs were sent into the den. Yuri's mother was woken up by the dogs. She tried to protect her cub, but when she climbed out of the den, she was shot by the hunters. Every year, between 3,000 and 4,000 brown bears are hunted and killed like this. There are only 110,000 brown bears in Russia today, and they are almost extinct in the rest of Europe. Their meat and fur are sold for thousands of dollars, so people will continue to hunt them. The cubs are usually just left to die. Without their mothers, they can't survive. Yuri, however, was lucky. He was found by one of the hunters, and he was taken to the Russian bear orphanage, 350 kilometers northwest of Moscow. The orphanage is run by Professor Valentin Peshetnov. Here, Yuri will be looked after. He and other orphan bears will be fed and taught how to survive. When they are old enough, they will be taken to a nature reserve in Bryansk, where they will be protected. Professor Peshetnov hopes that in the future some bears will be released in other European countries where they are now extinct. So far, Over 100 bear cubs have been saved by the orphanage. 70 bears have been returned to the forest. We want to save more. That's why I'm writing to you now. Money is needed for food, transport, and for people to look after the baby bears. Yuri and his friends need your help. Please send a donation today. Together we can save the orphan bears. Thank you. Yours sincerely, Fred O'Regan.
Okay, I hope you listened carefully and understood all the details about this. I know it's a little long, but it's useful too. So let's start answering these questions. Okay, please be with me. Find the names of these people and places in the text. Or before that, we have read and listen to the text. What does the writer want? So who knows? What does the writer want? Yeah, we listen to it. Please send a donation today. Together we can save the orphan bears. So he needs what? He needs a donation. So what does donation mean? Like he needs some money for food, transport for the orphan bears. Okay, so he needs money from people. Okay, so let's come to the questions. Question 1. So we said this about the names of the place or the people. So first one, the man who wrote the letter. What's the name of the man who wrote the letter? Who knows? Very good. Fred O'Regan. You see, yours sincerely, it's written at the end of the text. So this is the name. Number 2, a brown bear cub. What's the name of the brown bear cub? Yes, it's easy. Yuri. So right next to the question, Yuri. 3, the place where the nature reserve is. The place where the nature reserve is. Yeah, it's written in here. Look, Bryansk. You see? Nature reserve. What does nature reserve mean? Nature reserve is a national park, like protected area that designated for the preservation of the wildlife, okay, for the animals. 4, the man who runs the bear orphanage. What's the name of the man who runs the bear orphanage? Yeah, it's a strange name. Valentin Pashtnov, sorry. It's like a Russian name, that's why it's a bit difficult to say or to pronounce. And 5, the place that Yuri was taken to. What's the place that he was taken to? The Russian bear orphanage, 350 kilometers northwest of Moscow. Okay, so like if you understood, it's about the baby bears, which is called cub. You know, cub means C-U-B, means baby bears or even baby lions. So some baby animals are called a cub. Okay, so it's about them that their parents or their mothers are killed every year. Look, it's written like there are only 110,000 brown bears in Russia today because, you know, they will be extinct. What does extinct mean? Extinct means non-existent. They will be vanished, okay, because they're all killed, so there won't be any bears anymore. So there are some other words too. I want you to know them. For example, den. Den means like a cave or a hole. So it's for the animal's place to live in there. Okay. There was another word which is hibernate. What does hibernate mean? Like to spend, there are some kind of animals, they spend the winter inside, okay, in their den because they are hibernating. Maybe you studied in science lesson. So especially for bears, they have this let's say stage in their life, and there are what are they killed for? Mostly they are killed for their fur. Fur means what? Like their hair. They need it, like people need it for making many kind of things like clothes, some furnitures from their fair. Okay, so there was another word too. Orphanage is again an institution for the care and placement of the orphans. Okay, so the orphans will be taken to the orphanage. So now we've got second exercise. Correct the statements. We have 10 points, 10 sentences. You have to correct them. Please read them very carefully and correct one by one. Okay, there may be one word or more than one word is wrong in each sentence. I want you to underline them and correct the answer next to it. Okay, good. So let's go to the next page now. We've got some vocabularies. So as you know, vocabulary is the most or one of the most important parts in any language. So English has got many different vocabularies too. So there are definitions. Match the words from the text in exercise 1B to the meaning. So we've got 1 to 12, and I explained some of these words to you right now. So now you have just to match each word to their definitions, and I think they are easy to you because you understood what I said, right? So first one is a cup, 2 hibernate, 3 so far, 4 a den, 5 shot, 6 blind, 7 a nature reserve, 8 an orphan, 9 an orphanage, 10 extinct, 11 fair, 12 a donation. So I want you to have your pencil and write the answers with me. Okay, because it's matching. I want you to match each question to their answer. Okay, so one is a cup. What does a cup mean? Cup. A, B, C, D, F, a baby bear. Yeah, one is F. What about 2? Hibernate, to sleep through the winter. Yes, to sleep through the winter. So I want you to do the rest, okay? It's easy. Now we've got exercise 4, role play with work with a partner. One person is a reporter and the other is Professor Pashnitov. Use the cues to make an interview. So it's like for interviewing, but you have to write them down first. Like number 1 is an example. Why Yuri at the orphanage? Why was Yuri brought to the orphanage? Answer: his mother was killed by hunters. So you have to do what? You have to do right or put these words in a statement like question, not statement. Okay, make it question, and you have to write down the answer too. Okay, to each question. Number 2, how many bears kill each year? So how do you put this in correct order? How many bears are killed each year? And what's the answer? It's in the text. Between 3,000 and 4,000 bears are hunted and killed every year. This is the answer. Okay? 3. Why they kill. So if you pay attention to my voice, to my sound, you can write down with my sound. Okay? So 3. Why they kill. Why are they killed? You see, it's passive voice sentence. That's why be careful with it. Why are they killed? What's the answer? They are killed for their meat and fur, which are sold for thousands of dollars. 4. What happened to Yuri now? What will happen to Yuri now? The answer? He will be looked after. He will be fed and taught how to survive. 5. What happened to Yuri now? How do we make it question? What will happen to Yuri now? What will happen to him when he grows up? Or fourth one was what will happen to Yuri now? He will be looked after, he will be fed and taught how to survive. We said that. 5, what will happen to him when he grow up? He will be taken to a nature reserve in Bryansk. 6, how many cubs saved? How many cubs have been saved? Answer, over 100 bear cubs have been saved by the orphanage. 7, what money need for? What is the money needed for? Answer, we want to save more bears. Money is needed for food, transport, and for people to look after the baby bears. 8, why you want to save the orphan bears? Why do you want to save the orphan bears? Answer, there are only 110,000 brown bears left in Russia and they are almost extinct in the rest of Europe. So if you notice to my voice, you can answer each question, okay, and write down in your notebook. Then we've speaking, listening, and writing. We can do with this right now, but there is a green quiz. Look at this green quiz. There are 6 questions. Number 1, how much energy is saved when an aluminum can is recycled? Look, this is an aluminum can. So what do you think, like, how much energy is saved when an aluminum can is recycled? What does recycle mean? For example, not to throw the rubbish or the things that you don't need anymore everywhere. No, you have to separate them, the cans or the metal in one part or in one box, the paper in another box, some liquids in another part, like that, okay? So this is recycling, like they will make or recycle them again. They will be used for something else. So A, enough to run a calculator for 3 minutes. B, enough to run a TV for 3 hours. Or C, enough to run a mobile phone for 3 days. So what do you think? Which question or which answer is correct for that question? So there are more questions like that. I want you to read it and answer according to your thoughts. Okay, what do you think? Which one is correct? Then I will give you the correct answer to each question. Okay, let's come to the last question, which is how green are you? Write your answers to the questions. Look at these questions. Number 1, what things do you usually recycle? So have you ever thought or have you ever recycled anything by your own? Think about it. 2, do you switch off the light when you leave a room? So you are, for example, you are sleeping in that room and you of course switch off because you sleep in dark. In the morning, when you go to school, for example, you need to change your outfit. You turn on the lights, right? You switch it on. Then after you leave that room, do you switch it off or not? Or when you go to the bathroom and coming out in there, what do you do? 3, what electrical appliances do you leave on standby? So do you have any electrical appliances that you leave on standby? They will be on the whole time. 4, do you leave the water running when you brush your teeth? So while you are brushing your teeth, the water is still coming out from the tap or you close the tap. 5, how many car journeys do you make in a week? So it's according to your answer. 6, how many non-recyclable things, example crisp packets, do you throw away each week? So please think about all these questions and you can make a video or record a video about yourself. It will be your homework, okay, for this week. I want you to make a video and send it to me. So let me see how green are you, okay, and do you ever think about recycling things? Thank you for listening. I hope you understood each part that I explained to you, and see you till a new video.